So,
Yeah, I see it.
All right, I think we are recording. So welcome everyone. It is 7:30 and that means that it is idea o'clock. I'm Gabby from Bunsee. Some of you may know me maybe from a webinar, or maybe we've chatted on Twitter or something like that. But for those of you that are new, welcome. And for those of you that have joined us before, welcome back. Tonight I'm here with Deb Zeman, and she's going to tell us all about how you can create Bunsee bookmarks on Bunsee. So Deb, I'm going to hand it over to you. You can feel free to introduce yourself and get started, and then the rest of us can kind of sit back. We can create along with you, or
Yes,
just kind of sit back and
please.
watch you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm Debbie Zeman. I am a library and information technology specialist down in the DFW area. I've been using Bunsee probably 2 years now. Introduced to it, I believe it was Michael Drezick in when we were in Philadelphia for ISTE, and myself and my good friend Tish Poncio, we met up with Mike and we were like, all right, give us a tutorial. And we got a 5-minute tutorial. And from then on, I have created graphics. I've created slide decks, everything I can imagine in Bunsee. And it's a fun way to do it because it's interactive. You can put in videos, you can put in audio. And what I'm going to focus on tonight is all the bookmarks that I have created. If you follow me on Twitter, you will see every time I finish reading a book, I'm on the Texas Library Association TASHOS reading list. And what I do is to pique people's interest. I will create a bookmark in Bunsee. And the thing that's fantastic is there's already a template there for you, and I'll show you that later on in the webinar, how you can just take that template and make your own bookmark. And what I do is I will take a favorite quote from the book, or maybe a little bit of a blurb, something that will entice readers, especially teenagers, to pick up the book and read it. So usually at the rate that I read, I probably have 2 or 3 bookmarks that I do a week just to get it out there. And it's just, I just sit there. I can be on my phone, I can be on my iPad, or just jump on my laptop and I will start making the bookmarks. So if you're ready, I will share my screen. And hello to everybody. I'm seeing everybody whipping through. So let's see. Tell me if you can see that. You've got that?
I see it, yeah.
Okay, so what I have done is I have created a Bunsee board. And I love Bunsee boards because when you have a class and you have your kids, you can share all their work to one place. So what I have done for tonight is I have taken just about all the bookmarks that I have made and put them in there, along with a couple of other things that I wanted to share that I have done and created in Bunsee. So first, you will see I created my business card. And I got this idea from one of my very good friends and fellow Bunsee ambassadors, Amy Storer. She had a Bunsee business card and I absolutely loved it. So what I was able to do is go into the templates, search for Bunsee bookmarks, business cards. And I found a style, which was kind of similar to Amy's. And I told her I kind of borrowed it and I created it. And what I liked is I was able to add in all my ambassador badges in there. And as they are, I update or I get higher up the rank, I can take them out and put them in. So it's kind of like a real-time update. And then what I do is I'll download the PNG and I'll add it to my mail signature. So that's one of the things that I created in here. And I'm able to put, my information, my Twitter, and then all the different things that I am a member of. And then the next Bunsee is what I created to show off some of the bookmarks, which I'll show you later in here. And the thing that I really love is you can also, as you see, add a QR code to the back, linking it to a book trailer or an author interview, or if you've tried it out, and I have played with it and I'll show it to you later, is the feature that you can use on your iPhone with the Bunsee app, doing the AR, VR, and I'm just starting to play with that. And it's actually a lot of fun. So as you can see, I have all these different bookmarks in here. And what I've done is, again, I put the title and the author, and then I have taken a quote that I like from the book. And of course, I always put quote marks around it. I'm all about copyright and permission, and I've included in there. But what I've also included is images or graphics that are similar to or have something to do with symbolizing something that has happened in the book. And when I show you these later, you'll see what I've done. So one of the things that Gabby and I talked about was National Women's of the Month, I believe it is, Women's History Month. So we talked about a couple of different important people in our lives as women, and I turned around and I created some bookmarks based on that person. So the first person I thought of was the OG, RBG, Ruth Bader. Oh no, sorry, this is Rosa Parks. I take that back. She kind of looks like her. Sorry. Rosa Parks, very important with the civil rights movement. So I went and I researched some of her quotes, and hers that I picked was, I knew someone had to take the first step, and I made up my mind not to move. And that was something that she said when she was sitting on the bus. So what I did was, Bunsee already had an image of her in their platform, so I was able to add that. And then I took a background that was similar to what the quote was, which was the steps in the background. I could have done the bus. Everybody knows the bus, but I thought, let me do something a little bit different. So I chose Rosa Parks as one. The next one I picked is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And again, for Women's History Month, I chose the gavel background. And the thing that's great about creating these bookmarks in Bunsee is if they don't have the image, they will get it for you. Or you can also find it when you do a search out on the web, and it's pulling, I believe, from either Unsplash or Pixabay, which are copyright-free images you can use and stuff like this. So then I picked her quote. My mother told me to be a lady, and for her, that meant be your own person, be independent. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And again, Women's History Month, and I chose the gavel. The next one I chose was Sacagawea. She's very important in our history. They had the image of her. So what I did was I found a background that I liked, that I thought was reminding me of her, which is the mountains. I included the title back here, and then her image, and then her quote, everything I do is for my people. And it was Sacagawea. And the thing is really nice too is Bunsee has the immersive reader built into it. So if this was something you created a board and shared it with your kids, they could have it read out loud to them. All they have to do is just, and hopefully this will work. There we go.
Everything I do is for my people.
And again, the thing, then the thing again, that's really nice. You can choose the different preferences, and then you can also choose a language and it'll translate over. So that was what I did for Sacagawea. And then with the election, I went with our most famous person nowadays, and that would be Kamala Harris. And what I did was I did a search. She's all about the pearls and the Converse. So the background I chose was the Converse shoe, and believe it or not, it was in Bunsee. And then the pearl neck was in there. And then I went and I found a quote. What I want young women and girls to know is you are powerful and your voice matters. And I created that bookmark. And the thing that's really great about these, I'll show you some examples in a little bit. You can also print these out on cardstock. You can laminate them. You can put them around your library. And again, that's another way to get the kids interested in what you're reading. So now I'll get to some of the bookmark. Oh, this is my, okay. So I'm a big fan of Hamilton. My future daughter-in-law loves the Hamilton. So I said, okay, what can I do to show off the lyrics, but put a twist on it? And I said, let me make some bookmarks. So the first one I did was I am the one thing in life I can control. And then I just put Hamilton the musical. And I just liked the way this looked. And everything that's here was in Bunsee, which I thought was great. And I mean, if you could also take it a step further for digital, and if you could import an audio clip of Lin-Manuel singing it and having the kids scan it, that would be great. The next one I did, talk less, smile more, famous line from that play. I just found some smiley faces and I put them on there. And that was my Hamilton bookmark. Then I did this one, again, reduce stress, read a book. That's me. That's what I do all the time. I read a book. Anybody that knows me, I always have something to read in my hand. Again, another one I did for Hamilton. You walked in and my heart went boom. Famous line, created it, background straight from Bunsee. All I did was search for hearts and up it came. And then this one, I believe I had to search in the Pixbay, but I found that background. In New York, you can be a new man, my hometown. And then I did Satisfied. It just struck me. And I thought, I think this would be a good one representing Angelica. And then Love Doesn't Discriminate Between the Sinners and the Saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. And we keep loving anyway. And I was able to adjust the background to fit just how I wanted it. And again, this was straight in Bunsee. That's what I love. I have the freedom, and students now have the freedom to visually express what they want in Bunsee. And it's all about design. And then I did just professional bookworm because that's what I am. And then now we come to the examples of the books. And I'm going to go through some of them, but not all of them because there's a lot here. This is one I just recently read, and it was a love story. And it was about, I don't know if I'm saying this right, pho is how you really say it. And it was called a pho love story about two teenagers who have competing restaurants and how they come together. Again, it's like a modern day Romeo and Juliet. But what I did was I found this quote. It really resonated with me. Where does the line between what I want and what our parents want end? And I'm thinking kids nowadays probably can recognize, and it might resonate with them. Do I do it for me? Do I do it for my parents? And it might make them pick up the book and read it. Another one was The Initial Insult by Mindy McGinnis. Read as a friendship unravels brick by brick. And I picked the brick background, but I also picked the cat and the trowel because this book was a modern day version of Poe's The Cask of Amontillado. And the author also references the black cat, if anybody knows that story, and the trowel and breaking in the best friend or the friend in Cask of Amontillado. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to skim through a couple so that I can show you some other things that I do in Bunsee before I show you how to make a bookmark. This was a novel in verse, and if you can tell, oops, it went too fast, sorry. If you notice, it's got the heartbeat beating. So this is what's nice about a digital bookmark. When you share these bookmarks with the kids, they'll see that beating heart. The next one, No True Believers, and it was just words. Roman and Jewel, modern day Romeo and Juliet. Only happens in the movies. Cousins, great book. Her other books are phenomenal. I think I have a couple more of hers in here. Heiress Apparent, Girls Save the World. And again, everything that's on these Bunsees came straight out of the Bunsee platform. I was able to create, I got the silhouettes in there. I was able to add all the images. That one cut off. What I carry. And again, there's the moving coin. It's really cool when it's digital. I wish when I printed these out, you could see that happening. I really wanted to get some blinking eyes for this one, but I didn't see anything yet, but I'm sure if I asked, I would get it. Breath too late. So these are just some of the examples of what I've done in here. And I think Gabby has access to the board. So I'll have her share that so you can take a look at all the different bookmarks. I've just, as you can see, created a lot. And then honestly, I believe this is one of my very first ones that I created. This was a quote that a friend of mine who we were talking one day, and he said, the love of learning comes from the love of reading. And it's one of my favorite statements, and it's true. In order for kids to really enjoy learning, they gotta love to read. If you didn't know how to read, you wouldn't be able to learn. So those are just some of the bookmarks that I've made. And some of the other things that I have done with Bunsee is signage. And this is all kinds of signage that I've made in the library to guide kids. We have a genrefied library. So I'll walk you through. We do lunch with the librarians every Tuesday. So we got the background, I filled it in, and then I was able to download and import my Bitmoji with my partner librarian. And I made that, and we share it out on Schoology, we share it out on Twitter, we email it to the kids. I came up with this based off of someone else had done it in Google Drawings, but I was able to recreate this in Bunsee. And I was able to put all of my Bitmojis in there, all the different graphics was built right in there. And then I shared this out with teachers in my high school, and they were all like, how did you do this? Can I do this? Can I change the Bitmojis? And because I have the classroom type account, I was able to add them as a student, and then they turned around and created their own, Zoom expectations, because they were able, I made this copyable, and they were able to create their own version, tweaked it out however they wanted it, but they had the template, which was great. And then what we did at the beginning of the year, since we were virtual, we created a virtual library, which I kind of need to update because these are from earlier in the year. But what we have is within it, there's all kinds of links. So on this will link out to the trailer to the book, which is really cool. Or it could be an audio clip. We have an Ask the Librarian, so when they click on it, they're able to send us an email. We have book suggestion link. And then these would link to our own personal Bunsee. Oh, no, that's what I was reading at the time. So it kicks straight to the trailer. And then it clicks to the Instagram and our Twitter, and then our newsletter, and we can just put that right out on Schoology, and kids are able, the library Schoology page, and the kids are able to see all the different things. And they're also able to click on Destiny and go straight to the Destiny catalog or to Mac and Via for ebooks and audiobooks. So that's something I created. And then this was Halloween. I believe we had a contest with how would you use Bunsee at Halloween. And so I created this and sent it out on Schoology, and I loved it because it's like all the different genres and they're all animated, which I absolutely love. And what kid doesn't like animated stuff? Then I took this, and it was actually a graphic someone had sent me, and I wanted to be able to print it out and put it into our library. Just was able to upload it, got it the way I wanted, and printed it out, and I was all set. And then what I did was I created all this signage, which you're more than welcome to make a copy of. Had gotten these graphics from someone a long time ago. They had created those in Wordle. And so what I did was I created all this in Bunsee and printed them out. And now they're signage at the end caps and signage up on the shelf, so kids can decide what they want to read with a definition of what the different titles are. So those are all in the Bunsee board, and you're absolutely welcome to copy that. And then let's see, what else have I done? Being on the Taysha's top 5, I created a graphic just listing all them, and then I'm able to, I still have to add to it. I can add links to YouTube videos, or I can add links to an audio clip, or I can record my own review right in the Bunsee, and then kids can click on it and hear my voice and hear what I have to say about it. And then, let's see, got a couple more. Close those. Bookmarks, bookmarks, bookmarks. These are the Bunsee boards. I'm currently doing a test pilot for student ambassadors for Bunsee, and I've created their boards, but that's coming out, so I don't want to cheat on that just yet. You'll see that down the road. I created some podcast Hyperdocs within Bunsee, and these were for podcasts where it gives the directions, and then on the next page, the kids have to follow each one, and they're able to click on the link and create a Bunsee for each required Hyperdoc assignment within here. And then I did this one last year when we just broke out into the remote learning. I created this quickly for an English teacher, and they're able to create a Bunsee board with all of their different Bunsees. And the thing that's great is they can also create Flipgrid videos. They can create doc links within there, all within the Bunsee platform, which was amazing. And then I think I have one more, the dashboard. Another thing I wanted to show you before I get into creating the bookmark is the Buncee Ideas Lab, where you can search for all different ideas. So here's some things here. Some are created straight from Bunsee, and some are actually where you as the educator can create a lesson and submit it to the Ideas Lab. You can filter it. So if I typed in library, up will come some ideas. So a couple weeks ago, we had somebody do the trading card. There's World Read Aloud Day, create your own reading passport, the virtual bookshelf, virtual library. There was my podcast, the Bunsee book bento, which is another way of doing a book bento, but now you're doing it digitally. I'm actually having my library aides create these over books that they're reading as their required reading, and that was created by Q, the librarian, my buddy Karina. And these are just some more examples, and anything you can search for everything. It's great. So now what I'm going to show you is how to create the bookmark. And as you can see, I have an insane amount of Bunsees because I create everything in Bunsee. So when you want to create the Bunsee bookmark, you start fresh. And because I use it so much, it's probably the very first thing that comes up, and they have the template already built in for you. So you can just click on it. It walks you through the different things that you can add. I just say use it. And I right here will create a blank one, and then I'll just delete these out. And the thing that's nice is, so as I create more Hamilton, they're all right in here. If I create more read aloud, ones based on the books that I read, they're right all within this collection. And then you can add them to Bunsee board. So one book that I just finished, I actually have to pull it up quick so I don't. So I have the quote, was called The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. It was about witches. So I had to think, what could be something, how would I want to create this? So the first thing I would do is find a background. Well, a lot of the colors were blacks and purples. I could choose to do a color, or I could choose just Maybe there's something trending that might catch my background. I could type in purple and all these different things might come up, and something that I might like may show up. I kind of like this one, so I add it to the page. If I don't like how it's set up, I can click here and I can shift around. Oh, I like the way those stars are. And then when I'm done, I do it. Then I can start adding my first item. And the thing that I really love is everything I add will show up here. And if I don't like something, I can delete it from over here, or I can delete it here. So the first thing I would do is add a text box. And I would just type in the title, and I'm not worried about the color yet. Double click on it and I can change. Oops, this little chatty thing is in my way. I got to see if I can get to it. There we go. I can change the font, and they have some really cool new ones that I've been playing with. Carter 1. So I can make it really big. I can center it. I can fix it any way I want. I can italicize it. It's a title. I should. I can change the opacity if I wanted to. In this case, I don't, but I do. Oops, I do want to change. I'm going to slide this somewhere else. I do want to change the color to make it pop out more. So I can change it to a gray. I can change it to a white. In this case, I'll change it to the white. And then I can duplicate it to add the authors. Make that all smaller. There. Then I can look for birds. I can look for things that have to do with witches. So I can add an item. Nope. Where'd my items go? They disappeared. Okay. Add an item. I can type in Raven. There was nothing found, but then I can look for an image. Sometimes the images come up, sometimes they don't. You have to just keep trying. So if I see something I like that really stands out for me, I'll add it. And there's my, I really like that. That's perfect. There's the Raven. And then I can add, I can slide it here, which I kind of like it better right there, like that. And then I can add text. I can say something about the book itself to try to get the kids to read it. So I'm going to fix all the fonts so it matches perfectly. And then I can start typing. This sorority is not what you expect. Swirls all around. And that's basically it. That is how you create the bookmark. And then I can title it, the title of the book. And then when I'm ready to share it, I would click share. If I want to share it to a board, if I have the code, which it's on the other one, I can just paste the code there. And then if I had, sorry, I can share it with other Bunsees, so I can share it to other users if I know them, or if I wanted to put it out on Twitter, I can copy this link. It's copied, and then I can go and type something. Sometimes what I try to do is I actually tag the actual author, and I just had one recently. I did The Assignment by Liza Weimer, and she was like messaging me, "This is great. How did you do this? What did you use?" And I showed her how to do it. You can also download it, which I have been doing, and I'll show you in a second. It'll download as a PNG, and then I've uploaded it into Google Drawings to print out as a bookmark. And then you can also, let's see, email it to someone, and then again, post it out in Teams, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, and share that creation with other people. So what I've done is, and I'm going to show you, I'm really excited. Does anybody have any questions, Gabby, or are we good? I hope I didn't go too fast.
I mean, I was going to save a little bit of questions to the end, but I did have one actually.
Sure.
So Brenda had actually asked if you ever post age appropriate notation on the bookmarks. She mentioned she's a librarian at a middle school. So like, I guess in creating bookmarks, do you ever post age appropriate notation? Like this is something for older students or younger students or whatever?
You could, but because I'm in a high school that's 10 through 12, I don't. Because everything that I have in my library is geared towards 10 through 12. It's something you can definitely consider for yours if you feel more comfortable. My 9th grade campus librarian has showcased some of these because she has a majority of the books that I have, she has, because it's considered high school. So it's totally up to you if you want to. And I mean, you could add it down here, maybe, you know, for ages 16 plus, because I do know Tidal Wave and in Mackin, they will tell you that, but I've never been required, never asked to do that, but you can totally do it. That's a good question. I like that.
Yeah,
So
I think that's all I see.
Okay.
Oh, we had a question asking where
Sure.
you share to upload to print. So I think you're going to get to that though.
Yeah, so what I've done is, I'm gonna go to my drive. I think they're all in there. I have, let's see, hang on, sorry. Again, it's a little slow, it's Texas. Okay, so what I did was I uploaded the image, and what I was able to do, at least in Google, I'm not sure about Microsoft, I uploaded them all, and when I clicked on it, I was able to adjust the size. So you go to image options, and technically the size that I would have bookmarks are about 2 by 6. And you're able to adjust, click on it, adjust. And the thing that was really nice in here, once I did one, I was able to just click again and automatically change them all. So then I was able to put all the images that I want in Google, and then I put in matte cardstock, I believe it is, where it's kind of in between paper and actual cardstock. It's totally up to you. I mean, cardstock is going to be a little bit more durable, but what I do, and I think I can stop sharing my screen so I can show you what I have created. I went and I downloaded them and I made them all nice and shiny. So I don't know if you can see that. It's a little dark. I might have to turn on the light. So now I have them all printed. So that's my favorite one. And I've actually, believe it or not, I've taken some of these and made them as stickers too. So I was able to take what I created in Bunsee and in Procreate created a sticker, but you can also in Bunsee change up your shape so you can get it. So these are all the bookmarks that I've done so far. So yeah, that's how they come out. Ooh, sorry, it's so blurry when you print them out and laminate them. And the thing that's really cool is there are laminating pouches specifically for bookmarks that you can get. So right now I have just like the full one. So I take the whole paper, the 8.5 by 11, put it in, and I have my own little laminator, send it through. And then I have a little cutter and I just make my bookmarks. And that's how I did it. And that's Bunsee. So those are my bookmarks. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Deb. That was so
Welcome.
awesome. It's cool to see kind of your creative process and all the different kind of examples and things that you can create with these, with Bunsee. for in your library. So I just wanted to, I think, shout out a couple of questions. So
Yeah, I see, Karina, you could do add a bookmark, absolute, QR code, definitely. So what you could do is, sorry, you
Mhm.
could run it through, but then print out on a sticker the QR code, put it on the back, and then laminate it, and there's your advertising for the bookmark. And again, when it's digital, you could also have that in there also, which is really cool. So you have so many different options and ways you can do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wonder actually, Deb, if you wouldn't mind showing us how you could add a QR code into your Bunsee,
Sure.
even if you just add it onto like the front of the bookmark, just so you can see
Sure.
where people can do that.
Sure.
And then I wonder if you wouldn't mind showing us how you can, you don't have to actually print out anything, but if you wouldn't
Yeah.
mind showing us how you could print out a bookmark, like what are the steps to do
Oh,
that?
sure. I'll go back to that first. So when I knew I skipped something. So when you have it all laid out, I just do file, print. But let me go back, sorry. What I did is for the page margin, and again, it's up to you. I have it, as you could see, they're really tiny, like margins in a sense, trim. So that's why they're so close together. If you didn't want to do that and had it a little bit more and thicker, that was fine. So what I did was, I think I dropped the page down to like 0.3 or 0.2 on the left and the right, just so I could get 5 in there based on that 2x6. You could also make them 2.5 by 6.5. It's totally up to you how big you want to do that. And then you just do file, print. It'll come up. Just make sure you don't have it as double-sided, because I tried that and it didn't work. No matter how many times I tried to do this background for the reduced stress, and I found a video on YouTube that showed you how to do it and print it, but it did not work. So I just kept it blank on the back. So you can do it that way. And then you just hit print. And like I said, it'll come out all of them. And then I have a little like mini paper cutter, and I just cut them all out, trim them down. Some of them have that little white line, and then some of them just, I don't know, it's hard to see, sorry. I gotta turn this background off. Some of them don't have that little frame around it. It all just depends. But if you decide to get the single pouches, you will get, instead of like I have it super cut to it, you'll get like a little bit of a curvy kind of thing. It's designed more. I just discovered them, or I would have gotten them a long time ago. So that's how I would print them. Just make sure it's single-sided. And then if you wanted to add a QR code, so I'll do this, Ravens.
Yeah, and then Deb, actually, if you, I'm sorry, after you add the QR code, I wonder if you wouldn't mind showing us, because we had a question.
Sure.
Do you save them as a JPEG or a PNG file? And just if you could show them where they could do that.
Yeah. Okay. So if I wanted somebody to go to the Goodreads so they could get all of this information, I have the extension, the QR code generator. So you can click on it, save image as, and I would just call it Ravens. So I knew which Ravens QR code. It downloads. And when I go back to the bookmark, I can hit the plus sign. I can hit uploads, and then select it. There it is. It'll upload. Takes a second sometimes to process. And then what I would do is make it not too big, but not too small. But you don't want it to be, again, too much for it, unless you want to go and just put it into a Google Doc and then print it out that way. But if you really wanted it here, that's where you can do some adjusting. And then there's the QR code. And then when you print it, so I downloaded it. And then when I'm ready to upload it, right here, insert image, upload from computer. Did I download this bookmark? No, let me go back and download it. Sorry. So share, download, click on it. It'll download to your desktop. And I would, again, just call it Raven, so I know that's what it is. Go back to the bookmark in the Google Doc. Again, this is Google Doc. It's different for Word. Image, upload. Now it comes out really big. That's where you have to do that right click, adjust image options, and then 2x6. And then you see how it fit straight on the paper. And there it is. And then if I wanted to do more than one, I can just Command C, space. I can fit 5, and then I can just do File, Print. But just that particular page is what I wanted to print. Custom, I think this was page 4. It should show up. Yep. And then I would just hit print and oops, I think it's going to my printer. There you go. That's how you can do it. And again, the QR code could be anything. It can be linking to Goodreads. It could be you recording an audio. And then again, within this, you have the ability also, if you wanted to add your own audio, you can record a video, but for this, you could, you can make a QR code there. Hold on, pink, yes. Okay, where is the audio?
You could, if you wanted to, include a QR code for the Bunsee, and then someone could scan the QR code and be taken to the live Bunsee, where then you could, play any video or audio or see any animations if you want. If you wanted to attach audio to something, you could click on the Raven, or you could attach maybe like an audio, you could search sound and get like a sound sticker, and you could attach it there.
Right. Oh, there it is, audio. Okay, sorry. Click on it, right, find the audio, and then it'll record, and then it will show up as that little, what is it, the little megaphone? And then when
the play button, yeah.
Yeah, and then when somebody is previewing it, it will show up, or not previewing it, looking at it, right there would be the audio. I can show an example in the Bunsee Bento book, if you'd like me to, where the kids did it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And just shout out to Karina.
Yes.
That 2x6 are magic numbers if you're making it. And I believe someone asked earlier, for printing it out. Yeah, I think printing it in landscape is easy.
Definitely landscape, because you won't be able to, because it's only an 8.5 by 11. You'd make them even smaller. So this is one of the girls has done this. This is her Bunsee Bento. So you can see right there is the audio. So when you click on it,
the topic that is dealt within this book is suicide and depression. And if you didn't already know,
and she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 recordings was in here. So that was what was really cool. So within that Bunsee, sorry, go back to it. If you click on the Raven, you click on audio, you're able to record, and then as soon as you're done and you hit preview, you'll see the little link. Now, again, this works for digital, not for printout. That's where you can have the QR code that can go to a SoundCloud, or it could go to a recording that you did maybe on YouTube, and they can scan it when they're in the library, and then they can listen to it. So that's how you do that. Did I miss anything else?
I don't see any other questions at the moment. I had one other question that I wanted to ask, and just in general, what has the student response been like to these kind of bookmarks?
They think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, so I have about 24 library aids and added them all to the classroom. and you get one or two, but then all of a sudden, when you go into classroom, you can see that they're playing and they're just making their own on their own, not necessarily what I've assigned. And you can see, oh, well, they tried this, they tried that, they've tried the recordings. So it's, again, it's all about design and student voice and empowering them to create not just audio, but video or visually. And this is why I love Bunsee. They have that ability to do that. Last year I did a social distancing haiku. And I just said, here's the code. If you'd like to learn how to Bunsee, I can do a quick Zoom. And I had a couple of junior high kids jump on, walk them through everything. And the next thing you know, I'm getting emails. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And they were just making stuff. And again, it's a nice little escape. I find it really relaxing to just go in and play. And I know when I've talked to Marie, she'll be like, yeah, I'm doing it right now as I talk to you. So yeah, they seem to like it. And what I want to do is when we get back to school, print out some of the ones that I've done and just, well, right now it's kind of hard, to be honest with you, because we can't have kids in the library because of COVID. You know, I can leave them out throughout the school, but we don't have that many kids there. So, you know, and everybody's afraid to touch anything. So hopefully in the fall, it'll be a little bit better and they'll be able to truly take the bookmarks and enjoy them. And then I can also show them how to do that.
Okay. That sounds really awesome. I think it's really cool to see kind of how you go about making it, and also just kind of get inspired for how this could be used with students. How students can do what you've done as well. You can kind of say, take a book that you've read, make a bookmark about it. Yeah.
And it could truly be like what Karina has. Now you have the Bunsee bookmark bento. Same idea, except now it's, you know, that big as opposed to the big graphic. They have that choice to do it. You know, so now I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Deb. I don't see any other questions at the moment. So thank you so much for doing this, for showing us your process and how you can create and everything like that. I think this has been really cool. Yeah, do you have anything else to add or?
No, I'm just really happy. I'm glad I'm now seeing everybody that's in there. I saw my buddy Christy is in the house and Marie, of course. I love Marie. It's all because of Marie we have Bunsee and Karina. But yeah, reach out to me. I'm on Twitter at Deb Zeman LMS. I'm on Instagram, Deb Zeman LMS, but I do more the Twitter stuff there. And, you know, I have 92,000 other things that I do with Bunsee. So if there's anything you have a question about, please let me know.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Deb. And thank you everyone for joining in. This has been such a great session. Thank you, everyone. It's really cool to see everyone joining in from all over. Really amazing. Thank you so much for coming out and joining in with us this evening.
Yes. Thank you guys, especially my Texas friends. Please stay warm. I worry about everybody. Yes. Who knew how many people actually had electricity to be able to come on? So yeah, yes. I appreciate you guys all jumping in and stopping by.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.